The River Realms, they call it. What a fine poetic name for something as rotten and twisted as our land has become. It was not always so. Long ago, the old empire, the noblest and most enduring society created by humankind, spanned almost the entire continent of Zerine, the cradle of man. But after several millennia of progress and incomparable achievements, inevitably, the empire began to fall into stagnation and decadence. Desperately holding on to their privileges and resisting change while trying to avert the collapse of the realm, the emperor and his theocracy took to measures that were worthy of true despots in cruelty. Subjugating weaker realms, enslaving whole nations, strip mining foreign resources, oppressing imperial citizens, war on several fronts, genocide. Eventually, the gods could no longer tolerate such horrors wrought in their name. Foretold by an abundance of divine omens, they descended upon the empire to right its wrongs. Thus, in a chain of dreadful events that became known as the Calamity, they annihilated the empire in a matter of days. The gods then finally saw what they had done in their anger and confusion. It is said that so much grief and shame filled them that they were broken, and they left this reality, never to return. The continent and its inhabitants seemed dead, but at length survivors began to crawl out of their hiding holes and faced a land that no longer welcomed them. Arcane anomalies, the fallout of the Calamity, now riddled the continent, and people realized that they had to share their new home with changed and twisted creatures. Terrible beings entered through the cracks in the tapestry of reality and rose to rule over the natives. In time, these new powers rebuilt the fallen empire in their own image, and the River Realms, now godless and vengeful, reincarnated from the ashes. The inhabitants of the land, such as I, now eke out a living under the crushing rule of the new empire. The continent itself constantly resists our every attempt at building a cozy home for ourselves. As travel is dangerous, many ventures specialize in transferring cargo and passengers over bleak and deadly leagues of land. Others try to take everything of value from said travelers, or attempt to find buried treasures among the ruins of the old empire. The leaders of the endeavors are, some say, the bravest men and women of the River Realms. Such a leader is called a Vagrus.
Vagrus. The River Realms, they call it. Holy fuck, my neighbor's goddamn dog is barking again. It just is just always barking. It's just forever. Forever and ever and ever. All right. It's been a while since I played this. Don't really remember what I was doing or where we were at or anything of the sort. But we'll figure it out, maybe. We were doing something here in Lucernum, but what was it? I have tons of garbage. Cool. Okay. What am I doing with garbage? I am guessing I'm heading to Avernum to smelt. That looks like the plan. Utvarar, Kotrar, Avernum. Right. I think I was gonna head over to the desert people capital. Destroy the outlaw camp near the Vigilus Tower. Rogue Sadirar camp. We dealt with that. Wait, what? You took it upon yourself to save the undead sculptor Thotmos from the Church of Ashgul. I don't remember doing that. I thought I was gonna kill him. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Holy shit. I can guarantee you that they are home as well. That's what's so annoying about my neighbors. They're always home. Why do we have... Oh, I don't have enough. They need to take a nap. But I don't know, was I supposed to do anything here? I don't think so. Rare quality weapon. Exquisite weapon. Gift a rare treasure. Oh no! My valuable treasure! Ooh, plus 30? House Venari? Alright, sure. Alright. Why are they so cranky? The slaves are still mad. But I guess we'll figure it out. Crystal, crystal. Do I need 3 beasts? No. Supplies here are so expensive. I think the only thing really worth buying here is Bright Kill. I do only have 5 days of supplies. Alright. Well, let's go up to Avernum again. I have no clue what I was doing or what the plan was or anything. But let's just do that. My dumb slaves are unruly and shitty. The slaves are disgruntled. Thefts are always a sign that morale and discipline are severely impaired in the Comitatus. It appears that this has come to pass with you now, as a random inventory of your goods reveals that some of your wares have been stolen. Perhaps the perpetrators hid them somewhere, as not even a full search of everyone's belongings reveals them. According to your guards, it must have been the slaves. What are you going to do about it? 1 Bright Kelp, 1 Chitin? What the fuck? Punish them. Punish them. Fail. That's bad. Alright, well, it doesn't seem to have been that bad. Can I whip him yet? I know we got 0. But we won't be able to sell here, so... Or maybe some things. Maybe some things. I'm not sure. Not sure, actually. Let's force march. Twice. Oh no. Rid of an overseer. Alright, so what's actually worth selling here? Flavo crystals are good. I think we can sell all, or 2 stacks at least. Wait, what just happened? Oh, maybe I had more stacks. I must have had more stacks. Titan. Bright Kelp. Bright Kelp sells okay here. You can sell like 1 stack. Well, that's about it. What about Ceruleus? Yeah, sure. Hating. Five, 2. 3, 5. That's actually pretty good. Alright, let's go smelt. I don't know if I have anything here. Collect. An order of ornamental weapons. Your order is ready and Dokar takes you to his father and brothers, who proudly present the completed work. It is clearly masterfully done and the attention to detail is phenomenal. Thank you. That's a lot. Reinforced wheels. I mean, I just assume that's what I have already. It's a lot of metal. Alright, let's hope this is good. I just made some blend in the pot. Tons of iron. Oh, okay. No, never mind. Wait, what the fuck is this sorting? Why is it putting an iron down here? I was like, oh shit, we got like 8 silver, but no. Weird. That's pretty good. It was just a scoop of coffee and a scoop of cocoa. Rate lamps. What was it I made? Ornamental weapons. What was that? Was that like steel armaments? Ornamental weapons. Oh my god. Please stop barking, you fucking dog. Fire bombs. Mountaineering. I don't know. That's like impossible to get. We bother buying more mining equipment? I have a lot already. That's like a thing here. one is it? Tectum Carvos, yeah. Level of preparedness, 173. Is this one not done? Like, I'm confused. Perform the ritual in Camus's tower. Didn't we do that? Or is that why I'm here, maybe? It might be. $15 dies for Kandik. This one has to be done at some point. Return of the Worms, yeah, here. Mining equipment, maximum 5. I don't remember how much I've given them. Ten beast lures, 10 slime grass. This bottle... We need 6 Sadarar bone necklaces, then the Vorax quest is done. Which, honestly, I did not think that was a particularly good quest. It has like a taste of this is DLC to it, and it is DLC, so it is what it is. I think generally speaking, it's pretty much always worth paying them double. Is there anything else worth getting from here? This is where we're going, right? Oh, we're in Abernum. Everything sells well there. Seems. Almost. All the metals. No, not tin. Actually, only silver. And you can sell dragon's steel there, maybe. I don't know. Like, we haven't managed to get in there, really, so... I don't know if you can even sell there, like, actually. But yeah, most stuff here is basically garbage there. And like buying a mushroom stack at this point is just it's not worth it. You have to, if it doesn't cost like 50 platinum or bronze or whatever it's called, then it's not worth buying and trading because it eats up too much inventory. So like Flavo crystals is like borderline. That's even worth it. Buying silver here and trying to sell that in Zedirar could be profitable. It's 11 per stack. But that's pretty much it. I can't really afford. Oh, we can buy some silver. Fuck it. Sells for 21 in Zedirar. Garbage. Not even worth loading. And neither is this, in my opinion, but I don't have anything else to put in there. You're ready to venture into the outer realms, breaking the Nadir's curse. That sounds... Nadir regards you with a wry smile. Are you sure, Vagrus? She asks. Once we are through the portal, we're in it deep. We will be in the abyss where demonkind was created, even if briefly should all go according to plan. We will not be able to call for reinforcements, to flee, to hide, to reconsider. We're going up against a most mighty demon lord who will most likely be guarded. Our only advantage is that we will appear practically on top of it. That's what I call irony. But to wrestle it into submission, to be able to take and imprison its essence, we'll have to be strong. It's now or never. Your companions gather inside the antechamber of Incanus' tower, and you ready them for what is most likely to come. A literal trip through Tartarus. Up in the study, the mage and Nadir are preparing for the ritual to open a gate into the abyss. Then into the large summoning chamber where Incanus has already placed many glyphs of power. Then Master and Sorceress begin chanting ritualistic words of power in a dark tongue you do not recognize, but that makes your skin crawl. Hours pass. Now and again, the tower's witch lights flicker with a dull greenish light, and a strange haze creeps inside the antechamber from the summoning hall. The chanting goes on, soon accompanied by a noise that reminds you of constant peals of distant thunder. At length, Nadir appears in the archway connecting this hall with the ritual chamber. Come now, she says hoarsely. You and your companions enter the ritual chamber. I mean, there's no... Yeah, I only have 6 guys. Actually, let me refill. Oh yeah, there's the Chucky. At first, the summoning chamber seems almost impossible to enter. Strands of wild magical energy obstruct you like zigzagging cobwebs of greenish lightning. But then Nadir guides the team ahead and you make it through somehow. At the chamber's far end, you glimpse Incanus himself, standing beside an intricately drawn summoning circle, complete with hundreds of glyphs, chanting ancient litanies. Nadir stands next to him with impatient anticipation. Directly above the circle, the very fabric of reality was torn open, and a strange shimmering crack suspended in mid-air has appeared, with Nadir's coveted artifact levitating directly in front of it. You hear Nadir's voice drifting towards you, as if from a dream. The portal is almost open, Vagrus. Once the Master finishes the formula, we must enter without hesitation. Incanus chanting reaches a crescendo, and the rift in the air begins to widen and to glow with an unnatural reddish light. You glimpse the distorted visage of a crimson, malevolently glowing landscape on the other side. I can keep it open for only so long, the mage announces. Do what you must. Nadir does not hesitate for a single moment. She casts a short protective spell, snatches the necklace out of the air, lunges forward, and then she is gone as if swallowed up by the portal. You and your companions follow her across. You walk through the portal. It feels like walking through a cool waterfall, but you do not get wet at all. After a brief moment of disorientation, you find yourself on a blackened tower top, overlooking a fortress of impossible proportions and twisted architecture. Above a crimson sky looms, overcast by forbidding, tar-like clouds. No, above a crimson sky looms, overcast by forbidding, tar-like clouds that crackle with malevolent energies. You can see a great wall and slowly realize that the dark fortress was built onto the vertical cliffs of an indescribably huge chasm. The foreboding feeling that you should not be here is overwhelming, paired with the strange urge to look out from the battlements. But Nadir is quick to pull you back from this strange desperation. Fight it. This is the pull of the abyss. The sorceress leans boldly over the otherworldly tower's parapet, and you follow her example. Below you is a vast bottomless pit, so gigantic that your mind can barely comprehend its dimensions. The circular brim's far side seems to be many dozens of miles away. Flocks of winged fiends fly across the great chasm, the inner cliffs of which are dotted with countless dark fortresses, complex stairways, platforms, and caverns, both above and below the fortress, upon which you are standing. Strange-smelling cataracts of water, acidic flows, and rivers of molten stone cascade into the eternal depths below. This place was not meant for mortal eyes. Nadir smiles. Like it so far, she purrs. You try to gather your senses in this forsaken place. Nadir cradles the necklace like a beloved pet. It speaks to me, she whispers, pointing towards the floor. The demon lord that was bound to this relic awaits. He is not far. There is a set of blackstone stairs nearby, winding down into the dark tower. Nadir walks over and starts to descend. This is your chance to confront the demon lord that has been tormenting Nadir. You climb down into a vast hall, and you realize that however deep you descended, you have still only reached the Cyclopean Tower's topmost landing. Thorned iron-wrought braziers hang from the vaulted ceiling, spreading a sick reddish light that hurts your eyes. Statues of twisted demonic monstrosities line the curving walls as if the armies of the abyss were petrified to be put on macabre display. At the far end of this nightmarish room, a pitch-black throne stands, immediately drawing your attention. It looks like it has grown out from the floor, like a sick fungus or malevolent tumor. And just like a fungus, it excretes a dark, mucus fluid. Yet that horrific throne stands empty. The hall's only occupant stands beyond an archway that leads to a balcony overlooking the endless depth of the abyss. It is a tall, dark figure, both muscular and robust, with misshapen horns on its large brutish head. In its left paw, it holds a gigantic axe forged from black metal. When you reach the hall's floor, the Demon Lord is consulting a messenger fiend. You can tell that he is displeased with what he hears. Then he snorts curiously. "Is that mortal flesh I smell?" The Demon Lord turns around slowly and steps in from the balcony. You are paralyzed by the Demon Lord's piercing, glowing gaze. The infernal sovereign stares at you, then grins, its fangs promising a gory death. "What wonder," he says with a voice that you find surprisingly velvety. It speaks a language that somehow you understand in your mind, but you can still recognize the hateful language that Nadir and her master used during the Gateway ritual. "What marvel! None of you maggots have ever dared to enter my magnificent citadel so far. No insects from the mortal realms have ever managed to creep under Morgarthon's threshold, unless, of course, they were dragged here. So how did you?" Suddenly, Nadir steps forward, holding up her necklace. "That's how, you bastard!" Morgarthon narrows his infernal gaze. "An adorable trinket," he purrs, almost like a cat. "Am I supposed to be impressed by a foolish bitch who brought it back to me? I will rip your soul to shreds and feast upon your screams." "That's not how it's going to end," Nadir says decisively. You cannot help but admire her recklessness. Or is it madness? The Demon Lord smiles, almost sympathetically. "Then how is it going to end, you usurping whore?" the Demon Lord snaps. Morgarthon's gaze falls upon the stairs, and a small host of misshapen yet powerfully built reddish humanoid creatures rush up into the hall. Each of them sports a glowing jewel embedded in their forehead. In the blink of an eye, they charge you with frenzied howls. These demonic thralls you will have to subdue. Now the question is, am I high enough level to actually kill these guys? Because also, she's probably gonna do like 1 damage here. Let's be real. Yeah, they have 60% fire res. What is she gonna do? %40 poison. They don't have that much life. I think I'm just gonna barrage these guys and try to kill them. He's almost dead already. That's cool. Gas bomb. Do you think it works? Kind of worked. Two damage. No! God damn it. What? You only hit one guy? More bimb. Killing an enemy off is just like... It's just so much more valuable, so I'm just trying to get rid of him, but I'm gonna I'm gonna lose this guy most likely. He is dead. Jesus Christ. Kill him! Because now it's like I have -2 characters and there's a boss in here. So this might be a load, I don't know. My guys are not that strong. They're only like level 3. Sweat trickles down your brow, but even though you have slain the last demonic minion, you know the battle is far from over. The demon lord Margarthon raises his black axe and comes plunging toward you with all his black mass, his voice thunderous. How is it going to end? You dare challenge me in my own domain? Flies and fire. Flies and fire shall devour your soul. Yeah, there's no way. He has 75 health and 2 minions, bro. Like, there's no way. There's no way. It's just not gonna happen. I don't even know what this blue thing is. Why did I do 0 damage? Immune to non-magic attack? There's gonna have to be like a special mechanic here for this to make any sense at all. Especially since she's the only magic character I've found in the entire game so far. And she has... He's 95% resistant against everything she can do. Like, what am I supposed to do with that, dude? Like, there's gotta be something here. He didn't. He didn't want to get nominated. What am I doing here? When your companions are slain, the demon Lord Morgathon stops the carnage. Bring those two before me, he growls. Hitherto unseen winged fiend minions swarm forth to grab Nadir and you. Hybris is one of my favorite mortal vices. Hybris? Hubris? Oh. Hubris is one of my... Isn't it pronounced hubris? Hybris. Hubris is one of my favorite mortal vices, the great demon lord proclaims. Ah, how sweet it is to crush overconfidence. Come to me, my audacious children. Let me revel in the torment caused by your delusions. An eternity of the most exquisite torments awaits your souls. Okay. Really weird? Like, the only thing I can imagine, and I don't really like having to try again because I don't think I can beat them. Is going to get the blessing of Ashcool. Because we need this. We need the blessing of Unbinding. Then there's like a 10% chance I can maybe win. But I still don't think I can win. Because my guys are just not strong enough. Like, I can't even get through the first thing without losing 3 characters. And then killing a boss that does like 8 damage when he hits me and has 75 HP. Like, yeah. I don't think it's happening. But that is the play. I would have to get the blessing. Hello, Dispiss. I just got killed. Maybe if everyone was like 2 levels higher, because that's the next big breakpoint, I think. But like, otherwise, there's no way I can kill that guy. So I think I think flavor crystals are like super worth to buy to bring there, but yeah, really can't do much more than that. So we'll just have to go. And then we'll give this a try. Help! Small Jakra horde. Fight. Now, when you're fighting most beasts so far, from what I've noticed, you really want to defend your beasts. Because wild animals go for your creatures, because they are trying to eat them. And then I usually go with shield wall? No, which one is it? Concentrated defense, yeah. Plus 200% player ward. This makes defending like your animals do more. Now these guys are ass, so bushwhack. Plus 10% damage. Ah, that might be worth it. Hopefully we didn't lose anything. Ooh, 550 supplies. That's worth more than some mushrooms. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate my neighbors so much, dude. Craftsman fucked off. Now, I need to do something. Ask for a blessing. Is that what I need? I need to have all the blessings? Tribal trinket. That's not what we need. I need Sadirar bone necklaces, so we don't want to sell those. I don't know if I need a dwarven gear. I have two. You do use them, like, very rarely. But yeah, I think we need all 4 blessings. Ask for a blessing of spirits. Actually, I don't know what I need to do here. What the fuck is the blessing of spirits? Let's see. Talk to the stewards in the lower village of Sadirar when you have all the 4 blessings of the tribes on you. Yeah, so we want Blessing of Flame. And then that only lasts for a short while. It doesn't even show up here. I have a lot of insight. We should level up characters a bit. Perhaps. I should have rest. We should rest and then get the blessing again. Ex-legionnaires for Kotrar. And Kotrar is there. We go Utvarar, Vitrar, Kotrar, Eitrar, then Sadirar, and hopefully there are people there. So we can take those guys. I'm gonna sell a Bright Kelp. Maybe a Flavo. Mushroom Bear. It's not worth, like, sitting on. It's not worth anything. But can we buy anything here that's worth it? Have you watched the new game from the Disco Elysium studio? I briefly looked at it, yeah. But not that much. I will play that game. I'm interested in seeing... I mean, is it even, like, coming out at any time soon? I don't remember what it was called. Zero Parades. Is that the one? Yeah. Oh, it is? Oh, it released like 2 days ago. Oh, I didn't know that. Hey, maybe we should play that. Bundle. Bundle is more expensive. 36 something something. Yeah. I might play that. Well, I'm not buying it until I check out some more reviews and stuff. Someone gave it a thumbs down because it doesn't have native 32:9 aspect ratio support. Also, the people who own the studio are like literally scammers, as far as I know. Like, more or less. I am a little bit iffy about actually giving them money, but I do want to see what the game is like, just because I'm curious. Maybe we buy some dice. Then... No, I didn't rest. We need to rest. There. Go to the shamans, get another blessing. Then we leave. And let's see. Blessing of Flame lasts for 14 days, so that should be good. Should be fine. The only thing I'm worried about is that the Wind Tribe isn't gonna be there. Not really super worth to sell that here. Metals. Nothing worth selling here. Yeah, selling to these guys, I feel is like almost universally bad. It's like they buy crystals for high, at best. And sell a stack of bright kelp. Levo for 5/5. Goes down. We'll sell for 5/5. Sure. And we buy supplies for the rest. Let's leave. Better to rest outside. You're here to buy or trade a bottle of Ulalud. Am I? Oh, necklaces that we don't have, right. Water Blessing. Right. Potrar. Alright. Guess it's up to Kotrar. The winds out here in the wasteland are getting more and more erratic. Not even the most seasoned travelers are used to such anomalies. You and your combs are certain that you can hear voices in the wind, becoming ever louder and more disturbing, yet still not amounting to more than loathsome whispers. The whole experience is quite unnerving. The crew trudges on, but you can see that everyone is affected. Morale obedience. No, that's bad! There's Kotrar. We'll see. If I can solve it, then maybe we'll play it. Otherwise, I might not. You know what I mean. I don't know if it's worth marching there. Three points won't get me there, we have to march. The Comitatus approaches the village of Kotrar, home to the eponymous tribe of wind-worshipping nomads. Under palm trees and countless windmills, the white houses of these Sadarar sit under the cruel sun, whipped by constant gales. Do you find them? The many white and light blue banners flapping in the strong constant wind, as well as the laughter and singing in the village, betray that the Kotrar are here, resting between journeys. Thank God, I've actually never been here without them, like, they're always here. But time to settle down with the Comitatus and pay them a visit. Oh shit, I had tons of people who wanted to go here. So here we sell Flavo. Sure. Shrooms? Yeah, shrooms, actually. Worth almost double, so I made no money at all. Chitin is worthless out here. And it's also funny, because it's like not... It's like barely worth buying here either. I don't really know what to stock up on out here. There's like nothing. Like... I don't think herbs are worth buying. They don't have spices. I have not gone through the Dragon Gates, no. I haven't done anything. I'll be honest. We're still like on chapter 1. We're on chapter 1 of Vagrus. And we've been playing for 76 hours. Cause I've been like avoiding trying to do like the big hero stuff. But how many chapters are there? I don't think there are exact chapters. I don't really know. But basically what I mean is I haven't progressed like anything because there are like winds blocking off certain parts of the world. There's the Dragon Gate. You can't go south because this, you know, the pass where you start off is like blocked off. Haven't been able to open that. I can't go to the southwest. I can't go to the northwest. Like I'm just stuck in the first area because I haven't been like doing main questy things. I've just been trying to like sell drugs and cocaine, which I've also been failing at, by the way. Yeah, I think so. Because there are so many other places that we haven't been to where, like, you can actually sell ivory or bogweed. But because, like, here you can sell bogweed for 31. Here it's in Stygio's lumber camp. It sells for 41, or at least allegedly 1,033 days ago. So, like, if I could find that, we could maybe buy weed and go there and, like, smuggle it in. But at the moment, there is nowhere to actually sell weed after buying it to make money off of it. At all, in the entire game. I think you basically need to get the smuggling operation going in in Torzag's shelter, but I haven't figured that out yet. Or we're still trying to do something with that. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything here. Go to the Circle of Errant Winds. What's that? You're allowed to listen to the winds. You approach the rocky hill upon which a circle of monoliths stand. Beaten by the constant desert wind, their marred stone forms tall and timeless. The path that leads up to it is guarded by Kotrar warriors who bow their heads as you approach. According to your agreement with the shamans, you can visit the hilltop every now and then. You ascend the stone steps after the guards let you pass. The winds up here whistle with such intensity that you can hear nothing else. The view, however, makes up for the temporary deafness. Beyond the white sandstone buildings and billowing palms is a sea of yellow dunes as far as the eye can see. A handful of shamans sit cross-legged on stones inside the circle, and one of them invites you to join them. Making yourself comfortable, you sit and listen to the winds for quite a while. After the first few minutes, you begin to hear whispers and chanting mingle with the whistling, and can soon make out words, then sentences. It is curious how much the wind spirits know of faraway things. After a while, you decide that you have heard enough and say your farewell to the shamans. You descend with a plethora of new knowledge. Ooh. I think that one's... like, knowledge feels like it's borderline useless. Go to the shaman's court. Ask about the crazed winds. You address the shamans and ask them what they know about the madness-inducing frantic winds. As those closest to wind spirit, they should be experts when it comes to such phenomena. The shamans give each other knowing looks, then once the oldest nod their approval, they tell you what they know. It came from that accursed desert in the south and east from our lands, the one where wind spirits have always been deranged. One of the more senior shamans explains. This sickness and anger that permeates the skies and the gales there, then spread to neighboring lands, on and on until they stirred up mad winds almost everywhere. Places that were already in turmoil were hit the worst. The great ashen plains in the northeast, the black desert where the rare winds claim the souls of those that dare disturb its dead silence, the great whirlwind to the east. We consulted the Colrish nomads and the Ashman exiles, who also confirmed this. The Sadirar are still debating what to do, still looking into what made the wind spirits go mad. If you know more, do tell us, Wanderer. Tell them what you've learned while investigating the singing winds and the related phenomena. This is main story progression. It was actually kind of the last stuff I was trying to do. Once you explain to the shamans what the investigation of the Sergorodite High Executor and his Shadow Council revealed about Caravan and the Mad Winds, a dreadful silence falls upon the gathering. At length, after conversing in their native tongue with their fellow council members, the senior shaman turns to you. May the spirits guide your path for bringing this before us, Wanderer. So it would seem that one of the elder races has left us with this conundrum. The Kotrar have encountered elven magic several times before, and so we know how intricate and powerful its effects can be. Spirits are known to be restless or outright insane near the ruins of that old race, be they specters of elves or the spirits of elements and nature. And this is no wonder. The elder races could shape the world around them with their sheer will and ingenuity, but in doing so they upset the balance, like our ancestors in the old empire, and caused the burning, although it may not be fair to put the blame entirely on the ancients. If anyone disturbed those ruins in an act of greed or folly, they are equally, if not more, condemnable. At least now, thanks to you, we know much more, and we have a lot to discuss. Regardless, the Kotrar will continue to observe the change in the winds and commune with the spirits. Perhaps one day heal the sickness this elven witch created. You consider what you heard. Level up. Ask about Ventulium. We know of the place, an older shaman informs you. Despite its remoteness from our deserts, we consider it a holy site, for the wind spirits there sing the sad song of the wasteland for those that know what to listen to. You ask them if the Kotrar carved the stone, to which she shakes her head. Unfortunately, we cannot take credit for it. We cannot even ask the spirits of the wind there, because they only reveal themselves in the form of music played by the spire. Whoever it was must have had a purpose, but we know not what. Alright, we got the blessing of the wind. Now we just need to head on over to the Earth Town and then head to Sadirar before my fire blessing falls off in 8 days, which should be super duper super easy. Right now, I'm pretty much just paying them double every single day. Because if you pay them double, it basically allows you to move twice as far every single turn. So it makes up for itself. Like, as long as your march, you have enough march for it to kind of be double movement, you kind of make up for it. Because it also costs money to not march. Because you need to like, they eat a lot. I don't know how much food do they consume right now. 247. That's 2.5 brass a day. Extra. So that's like almost as much as I pay. Like, that's how much, that's more than what I pay them. So actually, not marching costs more money than marching. So it's really just about managing their morale. And that's why I pay them double. Keep the morale up. Is anything here worth selling? I don't think so. Silver is almost worth something here. Actually worth more here than in Sadirar. Maybe I should just sell it. Iron is actually kind of valuable here. 69. actually one of the best places to sell it. Really though? The average price of my iron is 7.9. It sells for 69 here. That's like barely a profit. Vitrar. Did really... In crystal it sells for 67. Really? And the silver price... 27. Yeah. Earth Tribe likes bars and shit. Bronze. Yep. I just don't remember... Are my Vagrus notes? It unfortunately has fallen off from my recents. Hello, Spider Spig. How's it going? Vagrus notes. So... I've got some notes here. Good just laid off? Is that good? That doesn't sound great. Yeah, I don't have any special iron plays other than like making iron weapons. And that's also barely profitable. Okay, but I can't sell any more iron than that. And copper. No, but it means I can spend all week at the family cottage for Memorial Day. Yeah, that sounds nice. Something positive. You can sell the copper in Mirage for like slightly more. Crystals slightly more. Lumen slightly more. But it's like, it's not super profitable. Port Refugees isn't that like 2 inches away from where I am right now? I think it is. Jade is worth buying here. But I don't know if anything else is. I do think that the trading window is not good. It's genuinely not good. It's actually like the biggest issue with the game, in my opinion. Like more so than like the crew combat or companion combat or anything like that. The fact that the trading window, it's so hard to look at prices and like figure out what's actually worthwhile. Is like almost game breaking. But I don't think anything else is really worth buying here. Like Obsidian, there's no way Obsidian is worth here compared to buying it at the mines. No. Obsidian is ass here. Ivory bones, like chitin. Chitin isn't worth it here either. I could only sell it in Karnak, and it wouldn't... I don't think it would make up for itself actually going there. About pottery. Oh. Tax collector wants to go to Lumen for 12. I think after this I want to go down to the sandworms, actually. I have slime grass? Well, we can look at the hunt when we are done here. Oh, the gift of earth. Minerals or food. I don't know what about minerals? 2 ceruleus. That was. Is that worth anything? Ask about the voices in the obsidian. I think I've already read this, but I'm going to read it again anyway. Once you explain your strange experience with the presence in the obsidian, the shamans exchange knowing looks and several of them draw you aside to talk about the matter. They take you to a side chamber lit by a pale blue glow emanating from crystal clusters hanging from the walls and ceilings. You can see wisps of light move around in the formations in a way polywogs would in a pond. As you can see, friend, certain rare spirits often dwell in wondrous crystals. The leader of the shamans point to the spirits inside the formations. Perhaps you've seen it elsewhere. We also came across larger spirits, often impossibly elaborate beings of thought and light, inhabiting vast expanses of crystal Imperials call Calorus. Almost hypnotized by the wisps of light, you ask the shamans if obsidian can sustain such spirits as well. There is a moment of worried silence before they respond. Not that we know of, but that doesn't mean we haven't experienced what you have. The black blood of the mountain does seem to whisper to those sensitive to such presences, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in the waking world. Whatever speaks through the obsidian, however, is not the kind of spirit we revere. There is a will behind it, a purpose even. But there is also a malevolence that spirit callers cannot easily ignore. It is almost as if something, a presence, was imprisoned beneath the mountains there, and it learned to touch the minds of mortals, using the obsidian as a medium. You shiver involuntarily. The shamans advise you to try to forget about this and do not listen to the whispers from the obsidian. You contemplate what you have heard. Ask for a blessing of earth. All right. Let's go. We whip our slaves? Hell yeah. Oh, it's bugged. Okay, we're fighting sandworms. Save the beasts. Help, I can't see. So we need concentrated defense. And then bushwhack. Oh. Don't kill my beast, don't kill my beast, don't kill my beast. They got 3 of my slaves. We got 25 chitin and 11 trophies. Okay. That was weird. Alright, we made it to Sadirar. Visit the stewards' huts. The people called stewards, basically anyone not a shaman or envoy from the tribes, live in lines of stone huts that make up the vast majority of the lower village's buildings. They are generally quite helpful. There's also a single tavern here where most travelers lounge before setting out across the wasteland again. Ask the stewards if you can see the shamans. The stewards take you to the gate in the inner wall, where the honor guard of the overtribes, shamans, summons an apprentice shaman. She takes a good look at you, then bows her head and sings the ritualistic song of invitation into the trusted circle of Sadirar's council. Once inside, she takes you to a hut where she is joined by a young shaman in earth-colored garbs. He introduces himself as Ekra, and once he dismisses the apprentice, he invites you to sit in his hut while you talk. I just wanted to have a little chat, learn more about you, Vagrus. We like to know our associates well, and for now I only know that you worked hard to gain the blessing of the tribes, for which you have my utmost respect. What follows is a series of questions well hidden in idle conversation, yet Ekra does not hold back on answers either. You learn that he was initiated as a fully fledged shaman 3 years ago, which is very early for his age. He is a liaison between the council and those who come here to deal with them. Envoys, entrepreneurs, seekers, and holy men. He loves all kinds of music, and nothing makes him happier than to listen to something new and interesting. From now on, whenever you come to the upper village, seek me out, and I'll try to honor your request to the best of my abilities. You will probably be pleased to know that the market here will also be open to you from now on. We are constantly on the hunt for certain goods that are, well, let's just say that these are special goods. You'll see. Speaking of which, I'll take you around, show you what's what, and let you know what facilities you can visit. But when you wish to deal with the council, you can do it through me. The tour involves taking a good look at the stone buildings in the upper village, including the huge spirit hall. The many windmills, awnings, and dream catchers, as well as the busily scurrying apprentice shamans, make this place a vibrant, unique place, the likes of which you have never seen before. Once you know what is what, and what you have access to, you can decide what to do here. You think about your options. Changes occurred in Sadirar. The upper village lies beyond the inner walls of Sadirar, guarded by a caste of tribal warriors bound to the Council of Great Shamans, who hold a constant assembly in the largest stone building. Spirit Hall. Visit Spirit Hall. Ekra complies and takes you to Spirit Hall, which is reminiscent of an imperial colosseum, albeit somewhat cruder and more tribal in appearance. Inside, the chambers and corridors are crowded with people who are here to address the council. Most of them are shamans or envoys from the tribes, but there are quite a few foreigners like yourself, too. You are taken to a viewing balcony, from where you can see the huge main hall below. This is where the great shamans are gathered. Ekra asks you to wait for a while. Here, while he has to talk to his fellow spirit callers about your request. The shaman's assembly is dazzlingly colorful, as there are members from all the tribes, big and small. While you wait, you listen to the debate. You learn a few things that concern the council. Disturbing news about the return of slithering sandworms apparently attacking settlements to the southern desert, like Tectum Carvos. Strange voices in the wind, becoming more and more intrusive since the earthquake in the southeast some time ago. Dark times abound, and the spirits are restless. Some of it you have heard before, some of it is quite new. At length, Ekra returns. Since you are blessed by the great spirits, you are a friend of the council, he tells you. They want you to know that from now on, especially in light of recent events, you can be blessed by the shamans here, to be able to harm dark spirits and malevolent abominations. This will also be possible at the settlements of the 4 tribes too, from now on. Other than that, if you have any specific business here, I can take you in to talk to them. You consider what to ask them. Something this way slithers added to rumors. A change in the winds added to the rumors. The talk of the town is that the southern deserts in the remotest regions, a new threat has emerged that is slowly but steadily making its way to the north. Witnesses claim that creatures writhing beneath the sands attack travelers and smaller settlements. Not even Tectum Carvos can escape this mysterious threat. Ever since the strange earthquake and sudden gale, the one that left people with headaches and strange dreams for weeks, the winds have been more severe out in the wasteland. People have seen legionnaires marching south and claim they went to the singing winds. Giants in the hills, curious bookshop. Some people talk enviously, others with outright hostility when it comes to the luxurious sky villas of the nobility of the shelter. A crew of masons let you know that at least it gives them work enough to feed their families. However, not enough shipments from the marble from Arkan arrive these days for them to stay on schedule. What is this? Is this just telling me that you can sell marble there? People say that the Loaders Guild is pissed about the shameless smuggling ventures the Wraiths are running in Torzags. They also openly defy all trade rules, in Belarius according to some bartering with illicit cargo, as if those were regular goods. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. I think I've found almost everything in there. Alright, ask about the Sadirar people. I can tell you all about my people, says Ekra, when he hears your intention. We do not need to burden the council with that. Surely you know a lot already, considering that you have gained the trust and blessings of all the 4 Sadirar greater tribes, as well as the 4 great spirits. But there are indeed others. Many others, small tribes that do not have their own village, or if they do, it's not found on any maps. Most of them live in the deep desert, or in hidden oases, or on mountainsides in the west where no one goes. This council here has their representatives too, and speaks for them too. I am a good example of this because I wear garments that might make you think I am of the Aetrar, but that is not true. I hail from a tiny tribe called Lenarar, wanderers of mountain valleys and highlands to the south, who also follow Earth Spirit. Some tribes do not follow only one, but several great spirits, or even smaller ones you don't often hear about. But our ancestry and culture make us one people, especially in the face of danger, specifically the kinds of danger that this council is concerned with. Ask about the sacred mountain. So you wish to hear about the mountain of Kor, most sacred for the Sadirar. Ekra strokes his chin. I can tell you all about it. Let us leave the council to discuss more important matters. Your guide then proceeds to explain all there is to know about the holy mountain, at least for an outsider. You get the impression that matters of the spirit are very intimate to the most Sadirar, and so he probably leaves some things out. When you ask him about the chance to visit the summit, Ekra smiles mysteriously. Only in the rarest and most special cases does the council allow outsiders up the mountain, usually those on a spirit quest. I would not get my hopes up, Vagrus, but one never knows, of course. If anyone said that a wanderer like you ends up with the blessing of all 4 tribes in such a timely fashion, I would have dismissed it as daydreaming. But here you are. If the spirits wish one to gain access to it, they are allowed to see the summit. Petition the shamans for guides who would take you to the sunken tower. With Ekra alongside you, you petition the shamans to provide you with guides who can help you cross the worst part of Arenas Vorax, safely to reach the sunken tower. When you're finished, the members of the council begin to discuss the matter in their native tongue. Your impression is that your request rattled them somehow. Sadly, Vagrus, I do not think they shall take you, Ekra whispers. The spirits know of the perils that dwell within that place, and our tribes therefore shun the place. You wait patiently as the council debates the issue at length. Indeed, it seems that there is a great deal to discuss. You steal a glance at Ekra, who wears an expression of thoughtful tranquility. Eventually, one of the shamans steps forward. His dark braided hair shrouds a leathery face, bronzed by the desert sun, and when he speaks there is a calming authority about him. Our shamans will show you the way, Vagrus, on one condition. You must take some of our brethren with you, along with a group of outsiders who have also requested to go. The shaman says, his gaze lingering on you in restrained anticipation. Looking around, you realize that the whole hall is descended into a shocked silence. Ekra too fixes his eyes upon you. Clearly, everyone is astonished by this outcome. Accept the conditions put forth by the council. When you announce your agreement to the council's terms, Ekra joins the elder shaman for a moment and they briefly converse in their native tongue. Orders are barked and a member of the tribal guard is sent out of the spirit hall. Shortly after, Ekra appears alongside you. Follow me, Vagrus. I shall take you to meet your passengers. Our shamans and their guard will join you later, once you're ready to depart. You agree, and before long you arrive at the lower village's tavern, which is deserted save for a small band of men who appear to be laughing and drinking at a large table. You approach as Ekra gestures towards the group and tells you that he will wait for you here. As you approach, the men notice and greet you heartily. One of them rises to shake your hand. Well met. I am Felix, leader of this sorry band, the man says, a rakish smile on his face. Beside him, a tall hulk of a man sits, a flagon of ale in one hand, as he offers the other in welcoming gesture. A runner told us that you'll be taking us to the tower. Is that right? What's fucking right is that whoever this one is, we're all gonna be filthy fucking rich. A dwarf with an unkempt beard next to the huge man blurts out, nudging another companion who sits beside him, behind a haze of smoke, inhaling from a pipe. Judging from the smell, you assume that the man is partaking in bogweed. When his bloodshot eyes meet yours, he barely raises his eyebrows in recognition of your presence, clearly too far gone to muster anything resembling an introduction. Where's that dipshit cartographer gone? What'd he say his name were again? Erectus Maximus? The dwarf bellows, as the entire table erupts into drunken laughter. As if on cue, a well-dressed man with short hair and a fledgling beard emerges through a door from the other side of the tavern, introducing himself as Aramis. You introduce yourself to the newcomer. After introductions have been made, Aramis's eyes drift to the group in the corner, then back to you. I see you've already met our esteemed treasure-hunting friends, he says in a low voice, smirking. Pay them no mind. I, at least, am grateful to join your comitatus. You ask him about his work as a cartographer, and he begins to explain. My role here is to chart the regions all but forgotten by the Empire. Then I can return and present my work to one of the universities. Hopefully, they will see the importance of the area surrounding the tower and grant me admission. You begin to respond only to be interrupted again by the belligerent dwarf. Judging by his slurred words, he's already quite drunk. It's your round, Erectus, and I'll have 2 ales, thank you very fucking much, the dwarf shouts from across the tavern, much to the delight of his rowdy companions. It's then that you notice Ekra has returned. He waits patiently for his moment to speak up. The shamans and their guard are ready to depart any time, Vagrus. Just give the order and we can collect everyone before setting out. If you need time to prepare, you will have to return to the Spirit Hall once you're ready to go. Tell Ekra that you will meet him in the Spirit Hall later. You must first make preparations. Okay. Wait, so do they have trading here or not? Oh, here. Yeah, they do. So, oh, you can't buy slaves here. But I don't need more slaves, actually. Chitin sells here poorly, but it does sell. Jade, worth selling here. Copper, not worth selling here. Iron, not worth. Dragon steel, not in demand. I think this price is really bad. Like, I don't really remember where else you can sell it, but I think you can get a better price in, like, whatever it's called here in Devon, I think. You don't sell shit. Only supplies, but supplies aren't bad. But yeah, that's it. There's nothing worth buying here. Not even the coffee beans. I want to sell before we go anywhere. Actually, I want to He's level 5 already, actually. She's level 6. 5. He can't level up. She can level up. I don't know if I want that. Accuracy, marksman. Power. 4 evade. Savvy. 4 evade. This needs savvy 2. Dexterous 5. That gives us plus 8 evade. And aimed shot needs perceptive 5. We'll take that. And then, I don't know. I just don't necessarily feel like the other skills are like that worth getting. But this is accuracy 2. And that's what I want to get. Like, vitality is good, but this needs me to get all the way over there. For 1 vitality and 1 armor. Ranger, let's see. Tough. And top 3 gives... Why can't I take that? There. That's the most she can get there. So if I just get another 4, then next time she levels up, she can get the armor easily. Level up skulking. And that's actually like max level that I can make anyone. Without, like, we need to progress story quests. And he's like impossible, because it's like, where have I not been where he needs to kill somebody? Can't even get past his first mission. And Garrick, we're still waiting for Garrick to find some stuff. Borax is like impossible as well, almost. We need to regurgitate. All right. Well, that's as much as I can level them up, which is not that impressive. But five block. Nah, I don't know. I think Die Hard is better. 5 block. Ten impediment resistance. But this is bleed and magic rest, so I don't know. I don't think I'm too impressed by 5% block here. Block is a defensive mode that provides the defender with additional armor against the current attack. Okay. What is additional armor? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? He has 0 armor. He desperately needs armor. And he has that here. You can get 1 armor there. I think that might be all, though. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the characters barely improve, like, at all. He has 15 vitality. So... He can get 20. You can get 20 plus 1 armor and 6% evade. And that requires like infinite amounts of insight. They do not get that much better. Alright, I'm gonna save there. Ask for a blessing of spirits. Can you have blessing of spirit and blessing of unbinding at the same time? Blessing of unbinding. Blessing of spirits. Yes, you can. 15 vigilance, 1 perceptive. And unbinding lets you damage ghosts. I don't really want to go to the Sunken Tower, because I think that's just like a DLC area. But I guess. You gather up the more unsavory members of the entourage first, after which Ekra leads you to a corner of the Spirit Hall, and introduces you to a group of roughly half a dozen shamans and their guards. Everyone here looks ready to face the unwavering cruelty of the voracious sands. The stoic shamans of several tribes exude strength, whilst the other members of their entourage seem hungry for action, their chiseled musculature on display beneath the burnesses that only partially conceal their tribal markings. One of the shamans begins to speak, and as the others turn to listen, you realize that his words hold a lot of weight with them. We approach from the north, Vagrus, the only possible angle to the tower. The Great Spirit's willing, all of us will reach it. And so begins your journey. Okay, they join. We have to actually go there on our own manually. Which makes sense, but... So it's here, the sunken tower. So we'll go Aethrar, Fort Refuges, Last Oasis, Tectum Carvos, and then we go there. Yeah. That's what we will do. Your scouts report a silvery shimmer ahead on the horizon, and that would not be uncharacteristic of the Fata Morgana of the Wastelands. This time, however, they inform you about an actual pond lying in the path of the Comitatus. The crew members are eager to rush at it, waiting for your go-ahead signal. One never knows what ill residue of the calamity might have contaminated such seemingly tranquil sites. Check the water before consuming any of it. When you're done assessing the watering hole and your combs hear you saying it is putrid, they are visibly dismayed. They had so hoped for some much-needed refreshments. Some of them try to console their mates by reminding them that this is not the only oasis in the wasteland. It does not seem to make much of a difference. -1 morale. Oh no. They're gonna be giga fatigued. Is 8.6 a good price now? I don't know if it's like gone up again. 69. No, it's kind of a bad price now. Also, I don't know what I've given them. Because we have this here. I don't know what I've already given them. I need obsidian, ivory, obsidian blades. So is ivory expensive here or not? The obsidian is kind of expensive here, so I don't know if I want to buy that. I think I would rather just buy... Well, okay, they don't have any more supplies. Obsidian, ivory, obsidian blades, medical supplies, mining equipment, taskmasters, overseers, fighters. Fighters are kind of expensive though. Because they eat. That's the issue. Stupid slaves. Alright. Fort Refuges. Why is this broken? I need to restart the game. Bandits. There we defend the cargo. Concentrated defense. Bushwhack. We healed some guys. We got some hides, moon dust, outlaw trophy, common jewel, simple jewelry. All right. Well, is there really not a button? You have to drag. All right. We're not gonna make it today anyway, so we might as well camp here. Iron price is decent. Yeah, sure. Just get rid of it. Get rid of copper. We don't have any more bronze. One hide. And that's all I've got. And yeah, nobody sells anything here. We can buy more hidden compartments, but we don't need that. Can't buy slaves here. Slave driver who wants to go to Tectum. Sure, I'm going there anyway. Consult the Quiet Man. Inside his cozy hut, the Quiet Man is sitting at his desk, constantly poring over letters and slips of parchment. He's willing to pay well for sensitive information. Let him know about the renegade necromancer who he named. The Quiet Man takes notes once he realizes what your report is about. Once you conclude it, he nods and gives you a handsome reward. This is valuable information, Vagrus, and my associates will be very interested to hear of it. Munda Tulane is a figure of no small controversy in the Empire, so new dirt on her is always welcome to interested factions. I'm fairly certain that several players will move in this regard if they have not done so already. Again, this is much appreciated. 5 bros. Cadmador. What's Cadmador? That's Dragmolak. I have no idea. Sell steel armaments. 128. Is that good? think that's actually really good. This dwarven gadget is very cheap. It was like 11 in the last place. Purchase Ashgolite Charms. Not worth sleeping indoors. Okay. The Lonely Outpost. Oh, we can buy even more supplies. Can't buy anything else. But that's okay. If we just buy all the supplies, maybe we have enough supplies to actually give away some supplies. The Lonely Outpost. Visit Dujani. Ask her about Taj Mahal. I've already talked about that, I think, yeah. Ask what she thinks about Sadirar. Give her something. Give her a potion of quenching. Does that matter? Pristine Trophy. Demon Horn. Why am I giving her that? Oh, it's a quality. You need favor. A trained foraging lizard. No, we already have that. Greater luck talisman. Only a loved. You own one. I don't remember what a Shalimi blessing was. I wonder if she's a character. I strongly doubt it, though. I feel like most characters aren't like characters that you can get. Which is sad. Now we had to tech them, which means we're gonna have to fight some worms. I'm gonna save. Approach the town. You have to fight to get inside. Save the beasts. Okay, so bushwhack it is, I think. Ouch! Taken by the enemy. 8. What is that? Are those... Oh no, those are workers. They ate 8 workers. We got 21 sandworm trophies though. Slave drivers. Hop off. All right. Let's see what they want from me. Give them ivory. Ivory. Mining equipment. Mining equipment. Mining equipment. That's all of it. And they want 5 fighters. $200. How much do you get for one? 24. I can spare quite a lot of supplies. 240. Medical supplies. I think one more. Oh, it has to be supplies. Maybe they still need more. But how much do you need? Reach 400! Holy fuck! That's a fucking lot. $265. $277. Yeah, we've done everything. There's nothing else we can do here. We just need even more shit. A surprising amount of shit. I thought I was done, but not even close. Spices, perhaps? Yeah, spices are worth. You can get 10 per stack in like just Lumen. Or in Torzag. Almost everywhere. Chitin. I strongly doubt it's worth buying. No. We need to get like 10. 9 in Arkan. 10 in Ogoros work camp. That is ass. No. But this place is under siege, so it's not really that surprising. Tax collector wants to go to Crystal in 50 days. Workers for Devon. We should rest here, I think. They only have ass rest, so it's not worth it. We just sleep here. That's what you do. Whip our slaves to subservient. So they said I have to enter from the north. That's there, I guess. I just have a feeling that this place is just gonna be too hard because it's DLC content. I actually don't really understand the difficulty to some degree, because I feel like a lot of companion fights are like, they're just like super overwhelming. Like your guys just get fucked up. And they, like, you can't make them any better almost. The Comitatus moves slowly but steadily across the shifting sands of Arenas Vorax. Your crew and the Sadirar tribesmen are working tirelessly against the sandstorm that seems to have taken hold of the surrounding area. As you proceed into it deeper, it begins to dissipate, eventually fully opening up like great curtains. Just then, looking up, the full glory of the tower is revealed before you for the first time. A 300-foot-tall, near-pristine marble spike juts out from the ground, marred only by the sands that have temporarily beset the nooks and crannies of the great structure's exterior. Truly, it is a marvel to behold, as is made apparent when you notice the awestruck cartographer and most of your combs have stopped to stare at it, mesmerized by its looming grandeur. The moment is cut short, however, when the dwarven adventurer from the tavern comments on it snarkily. Well, fuck me, quite the sight in it. Mind you, them elves and their fuckwit buddies could at least build it straight, don't you think? Indeed, you notice it too. The tower leans slightly to one side, despite its marble magnificence. Tartarus's balls, Tolgruk, do you think you could shut the fuck up for once? Felix says as his Hulk-like companion backhands the dwarf, rebuking his insolence. The two men exchange conspicuous glances after the punishment is doled out, and Tolgruk spits blood onto the hot sands. Then he reaches into his satchel for a swig from a flask. You assume it's not water. You're jolted from your reverie when you realize that your combs are looking at you, clearly awaiting your orders. Direct your comitatus towards the base of the sunken tower. Before long, your comitatus has arrived at the foot of the tower where the winds seem relatively calm. The Sadirar move with great efficiency, scouting the immediate surroundings and setting up tents where your diverse entourage can congregate, cook, and rest. There is plenty of space for your combs, too. When the camp has been fully established, you, your companions, and the adventurers you brought here begin to explore the area surrounding the tower a little more thoroughly. On the southern side, there is consolidation of dunes that form a path upward, leading directly into the tower proper through an open window. Presumably having noticed the same thing, Tolgruk comments on the opening, pointing to it. That, boys, is the gateway to our fame and fortune, he says, only to be interrupted by the leader of the small band once more. Don't get cocky. We will rest here for the night and set out in the morning. This ain't no typical ruin crawl. You'd all better be prepared, and more importantly sober, he says, staring daggers into the dwarf and his chain-smoking friend, who brings up the rear, armed now with a bow at his back. A short while later, one of the Sadirar shamans emerges from the window and makes his way down the dunes towards you. You hail the shaman. Sadirar guides and their entourage leaves your comitatus. The shaman responds in kind, paying little mind to the gathered adventurers who loiter just off to the side of you and your companions. With his eyes fixed on you, he begins to speak. Before you explore the tower, you must first speak with its steward, Soroa. Our reason for coming in part was to see how he's doing. You'll need his blessing to proceed, he says, a reserved authority in his tone. Despite his desire to ignore the band of adventurers, he is soon forced to shift his focus to them when the leader Felix speaks up. Just hang on a bloody minute, mate. We paid good coin to be a part of this here venture, and nobody said nothing about a steward, he says, an edge to his tone. That is when you notice members of the tribal honor guard lurking in the background. Evidently they're prepared for such belligerence. The shaman knows it too, making it abundantly clear when he responds. Soroa will not stop you. The spirits are with him, but he does not seek to forbid those such as yourselves from entering the tower's depths. He has been affected by his time spent here, but he is not petty. Take heed, though. Many have died trying to uncover the tower's secrets. You would not be the first to rush in with reckless abandon. Yeah. We've heard it all before, you bloody grifter. You take our money and then speak all wise-like, thinking you know the score, the dwarf blurts, unable to contain himself despite the looming threat of both the Sadirar tribesman and his brawny companion. Irrespective of the palpable tension, nothing further transpires, and Felix leads his ragtag company back to their tent. Looking to move on, too, you thank the shaman for his assistance. Then you make your way to the camp where your crew awaits. +2 insight. At the heart of the deepest, most inhospitable desert of Terra Supra, the sunken desert has stood for over a millennium, unmarred by time, and surrounded by nothing but sand. A relic of the ancient world, barely clinging to the surface, this accursed place is nigh impossible to reach. Yet its twisting innards promise perilous secrets, and so fools brave the darkness below from time to time. Tribesmen looking for a change. Okay. Beneath the sunken towers, looming spike-like marble silhouettes, lies the makeshift camp where the Sadirar and others have taken up temporary residence. Colorful tents and awnings that offer refuge from the desert's blazing heat lie scattered around the great spire's base, creating a ragged but quaint camp. Visit the adventurers. You pull back the flap of the adventurer's tent, only to find its interior in disarray. There's a fair amount of space here, along with 4 bedrolls around an area in the middle where weapons, trinkets, and coins lie scattered on a large makeshift desk. Various clothes and belongings are strewn throughout the rest of the tent's insides, giving off an unsettling smell of sweat, alcohol, and of course, bogweed. Only 2 of the band are here at the moment, one of whom lies sprawled out on his bedroll, hitting his pipe and blowing large plumes of smoke into the air above. He grins lopsidedly, acknowledging your presence in his own way. Felix is the other. He looks up from the table of weapons that he is inspecting when you enter. "Hail, Vagrus. Good to see you again. As you can see, I am preparing for our first excursion into the tower. Marcellus, on the other hand, is being his usual lazy fuckwit self," he says, hurling a goblet in anger at his smoking companion. The fellow reacts by erupting into a coughing fit, cursing at his master under his breath. You ask where the dwarf and the brute has gotten to, and Felix shakes his head disapprovingly, his gaze drifting down to the weapons on the table. "Fucked if I know." Talgruk said something about women, and Erul grunted, following him. "Of course they'll not find any women in this camp, but I suppose I can't fault them for trying. Before we get into the tower proper," he says, before a sigh escapes him. "Whatever the case, perhaps we'll see you down there, eh? Just do me a favor. Stay out of our way. We've been doing this for a long time, and we wouldn't like to squabble over some of the more interesting treasures down there. I've heard it's quite the gold mine." Visit Aramis the cartographer. Aramis is bent over maps on his meager desk in his small and cluttered tent. He is welcoming and willing to answer any questions you might have. Ask him what it is exactly that he is mapping here. Aramis takes a moment to respond before delving into specifics. "Well, Vagrus, as you may have heard, the Sadirar have taken me on several tours around here, and I've been able to chart the region's more anomalous qualities. One might not think so, but there's a number of illuminating landmarks dotted throughout this region, and the tribesmen have been so kind as to show them to me," he says, a thoughtful expression on his face. You ask him about his goals, as far as the long term is concerned. "As I said when we met, my hope is that when completed, my work here will allow me to gather some clout with at least one of the universities. The Empire does take some interest in less traversed lands such as these, but I feel that this area, in particular, should be of more importance to them. You get the feeling that the cartographer is decidedly tight-lipped about specifics. You might have other questions for Aramis." Aramis is bent over maps on his meager Ask him about cartography in general. "Well, you could say it's been my calling for a long time," he says, flashing a smile. "I was just a boy when I started scrawling my own maps, and of course, my pragmatic parents didn't approve at the time. But they soon came around. You inquire further about how he got into the craft and who he learned from. Aramis ponders for a moment before divulging the details. "I would say Gaius Raminis influenced me a fair amount. He was my first mentor. After him, I studied under Beatrix Sumanis, learning about the styles and trends of both this era and those now considered antiquated. She encouraged me to develop myself further by traveling with Vagrus, such as yourself. That, I think, is about it. As for the art itself, it's both simple and immensely complex. It's hard to explain in layman's terms, I'm afraid." He lowers his eyes and rummages through the plethora of papers spread out on his desk. Feel free to take a look at my work, though, he says, having found a stack of parchments that are woven together with something resembling twine. You take and pursue the papers he holds out, doing so in a cursory fashion. You find all manner of sketches and maps of the western reaches of the voracious sands and the area surrounding the mountain of Kor. You hand the parchments back to him and he smiles once more. Now, if you'll excuse me, Vagrus, I really should be getting back to it. Let's talk more later. I have an exorbitant amount of work to do. A small group of shamans stayed at the tower after the rest of the guides left. They're meditating, practicing their craft, and just generally tending to their lodgings and equipment in the shade of their awnings and canopies. Trade with the shamans. Nope. Ask for healing. Heal Garrick. He got fucked up? Ask for blessings. Ask for blessing of unbinding on one of your companions. Are you shitting me? Ask for a ward against specters. This only lasts for a day. Oh shit, you can only get it on one person? One person every 12 days. What's the point of that? Ask for blessing of spirits on yourself. Did I get that already? No. Don't remember what that did. Sure. Lower chance of spectre ambushes. Alright, do we go inside? I suppose so. Shalimi Blessing. Lower chance of spectre ambushes. Oops. Compared to the scorching sands outside, the cool darkness of the tower's upper levels is odd, but quite welcome at the same time. Yet you can only find dust and sand in this desolate part of the once magnificent marble chambers. Head up to talk to the Guardian. The Guardian has taken up residence in the topmost chambers of the sunken tower. You ascend the stairs and enter. Before you stands a dark-haired man of medium stature and bronze skin. He wears face paint, characteristic of the water shamans of the Vitrar tribe. Greetings, traveler. I am Soroa, the steward of the tower by the grace of the spirits. Welcome to my humble abode, he says, and offers you fresh, cool water as a token of greeting. One of the most generous gestures for the Setirar. You look around and see that the place is entirely devoid of any sort of indulgence or splendor. Quite the contrary. Its austere furnishings speak of the solitary, contemplative life led by its lone dweller. A pile of furs for a bed, a simplistic fireplace, and tribal tools adorn the otherwise plain marble chamber. The only things that are in abundance in this home are trinkets and effigies, presumably to keep Saroa and his scarce guests safe and sound. The tall arched windows make it so that the environs of the tower are visible in all four directions, providing a good clear view of the vast expanse of the rolling desert, if not for the ferocious sandstorm encompassing it. Saroa refills your cup before settling down on his furs to talk. I suspect you will want to venture into the depths of the tower frequently. I would not recommend it. It is not my place to stop you from doing so, but the spirits know that it's most unwise to enter the darkness at our feet. You ask him why that is. The guardian strokes his chin before answering. The great burning caused the tower to sink beneath the sands, but that is merely part of the peril. Saroa says thoughtfully. Its halls are cursed. Neither the expanses and confines of desert, nor past, present, and future are natural in there. As you delve down, you leave the rules that govern these aspects of the world behind. Well, most of them. The vestiges of that order cling to you, allowing you to return safely if you don't stay for too long. After a while, the path you've taken begins to deteriorate behind you. Beware. You will get lost if you delay your return too much. You ask him what awaits you down there, and his expression darkens. The great burning was thorough in bringing destruction to this place. I've already said my piece about the way one can get lost inside. Time is also confused inside the tower. Worse, the spirits of the dead went mad long ago, so avoiding them would behoove you. He pauses briefly and shrugs. Most of the tower cannot be reached anyway. It's my understanding that when the great burning spread through the lands, the people who lived here sealed off some of the chambers and wings with their last breath to keep the destruction out. But the tower must have been eldritch long before that. He wonders out loud, staring into the distance. You see, it was always much larger inside than one would think by looking at it from the outside. Sorcery. Ancient sorcery at that. Yet it's not supposed to be twisting, churning, to be ever-changing. No, that was caused by the burning. I'm sure of it. You inquire about the interior of the tower, and Saroa elaborates further. He explains that since most sections are sadly inaccessible, the only reachable area is what used to be the study halls. Not many travelers return from their first foray into its dark belly. He looks at you with a stern expression. You nod. Ask him about the study halls. The study halls were where the young ones of the tower pursued their mind's calling during the day when they weren't learning from their elders. He clears his throat. Make no mistake, dangers lurk in them, for it is a savage maze due to the curse. Hidden snares and malevolent specters await the careless living. Perilous as they are, I have reason to believe that the horrors further below are even worse. A descent would be foolish. You acknowledge his advice with a nod. Ask him why he is here. He ponders your question before answering. I was but a young wandering shaman when I stumbled upon this mysterious place. I spent the night here. He spreads his arms, indicating his present dwelling. And I had the most unsettling dreams. I realized that the spirits of the tower were stirring in pain, thus stirring my dreams as well. I decided to stay. I communed with them, trying to calm them, but my success was only temporary, for the curse rules the ever-changing halls below our feet. You ask Saroa why he never left afterward. I vowed to remain here and ensure that the specters are not disturbed unnecessarily. It is my sacred duty to do so, until the day I join the spirit realm, I suppose. I don't mind, though. It's a good life. I can reflect on my thoughts, and I can hear the song of the great spirits in the desert wind. It is peaceful, and on the rare occasions when I grow tired of my solitude, they send me guests who bring news and fresh ideas upon which I can meditate for a long time to come. Ask him how he can help you. I will not stop you from entering. Nevertheless, I do sense that the spirits are already in considerable pain as it is. Their suffering has caused them to go mad. The stirring of the tower became their stirring. The malicious powers clutching its halls doomed them to an accursed, unending half-existence. Disturbing them would just make it worse. He rubs his temples before he carries on. This place and all the secrets it holds are not meant for this age. If you hold your life, soul, and sanity dear, you will heed my words and leave. That is the only help I can offer. Ask him about the sunken tower. He clears his throat before giving an answer. The sunken tower has been here since before the Great Burning. Its bowels are now cursed. Neither the expanses and confines of distance nor past, present, or future are natural in there. So the corridors, rooms, and stairs keep changing around, creating an endless maze that can trap trespassers forever. Even time is confused down there. The vestiges of the natural order cling to you for a while when you enter. However, allowing you to return safely if you don't stay for too long. After a while. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what he told me before. Ask him if the worms in the region ever bother him. No, those things do not come here, the shaman confirms with a sagely nod. Nor do other creatures or beasts, nor travelers for that matter. At least until you and yours came with my people. It must be the tower, of course. Even those slithering horrors know not to approach it. And so you won't find them here nor on the approach. Okay. Head down to explore the innards of the tower. I'm gonna leave and then we save here. And then we enter the tower. You descend, following the great winding marble staircase that leads into the dark depths of the tower. The temperature drops from cool to cold, and the darkness is nigh impenetrable now. Beyond the windows there is only blackness, while piles of sand sit beneath their slender frames. Without a doubt, you're now deep underground. But there's something else. A strange disorienting sensation has taken hold of you, the origin of which might be sorcery. At last you make your way into a large, echoing hall, a vestibule with rows of marble pillars, where a layer of ancient dust covers all surfaces. Along the walls stand damaged statues that depict bearded scholars, sagely elves, and devout priests. Blue-white orbs of sorcerous light dance ponderously around the high ceiling and several archways, corridors, and doors. It is impossible that the lean frame of the marble tower could house such a spacious and expansive interior. And so you conclude that you have entered the twisting innards of this accursed place. The eerie sensation that you felt during your descent is not gone. Quite the opposite. You find it difficult to orient yourself and find some of the angles wrong somehow. A quick exploration of your surroundings reveals that Saroa was indeed truthful. Only a single path ahead is unblocked. All the rest of the exits from the vestibule are closed off by shimmering pale blue magical walls that are almost invisible until you approach them. Try as you might, you cannot figure out any way to break the seals. Beyond the single unblocked archway is a veritable maze of chambers, stairs, and halls lit barely by magical light lamps. Tables and bookshelves line most walls. A plaque identifies this section of the tower as the study halls. Now, this is the reason why I dropped out of school twice. And when I was in high school, I switched my major from like social studies to media, where we only made fucking movies. And I read that entire thing, and I don't remember a single word. I was thinking about, like, I'm just thinking about something else when I'm reading. And I will read entire pages, and I have to reread them like 4 times. I don't remember anything. But I can read it without like almost stuttering at all. And I am not even paying attention to the text at all. But there was some stuff about magic lamps, and I think we're in like a corridor or something. Anyway. Enter the study halls. You take your companions through the large gate and emerge into a cavernous vestibule from which dozens of paths diverge. Corridors cloaked in darkness, spiral stairwells leading up or down, or archways opening onto spacious halls. Everything from the drapes to the furniture is decorated with the tower's insignia. Ivory spire atop which sits the Eye of Acarius, the symbol of great insight. Around you are tables laden with scrolls and stationery, as well as shelves lined with books. You are without the shadow of a doubt in the study hall, but despite the elaborate design and decor, the place looks abandoned. A fine layer of dust covers most surfaces, and everything bears the telltale signs of neglect, including the once white marble walls. A strange cold permeates the hall, and you get the impression that you have stepped into a different world. It is as if time has stopped moving in this place altogether. Should that not make you uneasy, the faded echoes that remind you of sighs coming from certain directions certainly do. The pathways leading from here to the rest of the study halls are beyond count. The shifting nature of the tower's interior makes any attempt at mapping it futile. So the question is, will you take one of the paths nonetheless and delve into the maze beyond? Media had all the cute ladies? Nope. We were 6 dudes. And we didn't do anything at all. we only made some really dogshit movies, and that was it. Like whenever we were supposed to be doing anything else, we had like the media class, or our media class, we had like our own little classroom in a separate building where only we were, and it was just only us 6 guys, and we had like a separate like computer lab there, and they just so happened to have about 6 computers. So literally all we did all day was sit at the computer and play Dolphin Olympics 2. And that was it. Pick a direction and take your companions down that path. Just take all of them. Arriving into a large study hall shrouded in twilight, your senses are beset forthwith by a dull humming drone that continues to penetrate your eardrums while you explore the area further. There is an unsettling smell and taste here too. The air feels pungently sweet, while a metallic, acrid taste lingers in your mouth. You search the area quickly. Having found nothing, you ponder what to do. Will you explore further? The depths of the sunken tower call to you. Yeah, of course. You and your combs emerge into a sprawling vestibule with high dome-shaped ceilings of varying stature. You also glimpse several spiral staircases, some of which coil off into the space outside of your view, while others seemingly lead nowhere. Yet others continue upwards, allowing you a view of strangely familiar sights you swear you have already seen. Or have you? Indeed, it is hard to tell in this place. You take a moment to consider your next move. Keep exploring these halls. Passing through an archway into a massive study chamber, your eyes fall upon the room's almost labyrinthian nature. Study tables sit parallel to each other in a structured manner, with large bookcases jut out from the corners beside huge spiraled staircases that disappear into both the ceiling and the floor, offering a half a dozen visible paths to follow. After some time spent looking around, you and your combs eventually find yourselves using the staircases, though it quickly becomes apparent that there is something off. They lead back into this very room. A chill runs down your spine. It is not long before you realize that any way forward or out of here lies with the path already taken. With this in mind, you turn back and look for another way forward. Deeper exploration could lead to unforeseen mysteries and perils alike. Now is the time for you to decide. Let's return to the surface. Coming up from the depths of the tower is a disorienting and perplexing experience. The first thing you notice is the change in temperature. The permeating chill is slowly alleviated, and you feel almost as though you have connected with a tangible sense of time itself. The shifting, befuddling experience of the tower's deep interior becomes an afterthought as you and your companions reorient yourselves, finally arriving at the vestibule. Head up from the vestibule, out of the tower and down into the camp. As you make your way out of the tower proper and back to the voracious sands, you're once more beset by the unrelenting oppressive heat that beats down on the region. As you begin your descent towards the camp, you quickly realize that something is wrong. Screams and the telltale sounds of combat ring out from below. Clearly some kind of battle is underway. You and your companions make haste down the dunes and back to your comitatus, where you can already see your people currently being under siege by a group of raiders. For now, the ragtag band seems intent on plunder, and several of your crew are engaged in combat with them, amid the palpable tension. It falls to you to decide how to proceed. Assemble a crack team in an attempt to ambush them from the flanks, breaking their ranks. Very high chance. This is my crack team. After you put together your team, you and your combs move with practiced guile and concealed grace, keeping yourselves out of view behind dunes and tents. Weaving through the camp and avoiding combat between the raiders and camp's denizens, you eventually arrive at a vantage point, where you spy two groups of raiders pillaging cargo underneath shaded awnings, one of which is ripe for an ambush. At your behest, your companions surge forward, engaging the small band of intruders. By the time they notice you, you're already upon them, out for blood. Some random orcs. Okay, so my aimed shot is now penetrating, does 4 to 6 damage, got 20% crit. Right? Boom! Oh, come on, bro. What's that, a ninja? Getting more damage, I think, is almost the best way to get defense in this game. So you just want to get one of your skills up to rank 3 as fast as you can. Because more damage done means you kill enemies faster, which means less damage taken. Like, killing one enemy is like the #1 thing you want to do. I do still like try to optimize my damage over time a bit too much. It's like letting enemies get killed by the damage over time means that they'll hit you more. And like getting hit once is like 1/3 of your health. Half the time. After your companions put down the last of the small band of desperate raiders, it seems as though a message has been sent to their brethren. There is only death here, and your combs are not to be trifled with. Moments later, they are fleeing with only meager possessions in tow, and neither the Sedirar nor your combs give chase. When you return to your comitatus, you are greeted by triumphant cheers. You check in with your most trusted combs, and confirm that no crew members were lost during the violent exchange. In high spirits, your crew returns to their duties. We lost some spice. Fuck. Alright. Well, I think we'll stop there for today. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll play some more. Maybe we'll program a bit. Maybe we'll try the new Disco Elysium game. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm gonna go watch more Chinese TV. And I'm gonna eat ice cream. Until next time, thanks for hanging. Have a good night. Bye-bye.